Live. Dude, what's up, bro?
I ain't your bro. I'm your daddy.
Sheesh.
Oh, we got a
Sheesh.
zoom in
Look at
right
that
there.
zoom in right there. Oh my god. You got that is that high quality camera you got set up right now?
No, it's my iPhone.
Really?
No, not my iPhone.
I was gonna say that thing's got some good pixels on your face.
That thing is pretty good. I got to flip over here. That would keep me centered.
Yeah, let's get this little wait, do you want this
I don't
zoom or do
care.
you want this one?
Yeah, I don't really care that much. You can zoom
I
out.
mean I mean we can go here, but all right, so
Um,
what we're gonna be doing today, boys, is we're going to be doing
girls.
boys and girls. I forget there's girls in this world. We're gonna be going and doing like a live coaching basically. So you ask us any questions you guys got, and we're gonna answer them down below. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. We're
For sure.
gonna
And yeah,
go
and
ahead.
if you guys want to come up, someone wants to come up on the StreamYard, we can send you the link.
Can we do that? We can.
Yeah, we can just send the link.
Holy shoot. That's
So
kind of
anyone
crazy.
that wants to, answer any questions, please, obviously leave the questions.
Yeah.
Big KT's up here. KT, what can we help you with? What can we help you guys with, right? And if you want, like I said, we can send you guys a link if you want to come up here and ask some questions. Come
Yeah,
up
just
on, put that camera on.
that's right. That's right. Depends on where you guys are at. Can hit you guys up on Instagram.
So come on, guys. We got 6 people watching right now, just starting. What do we got?
Someone's typing out an answer right now.
What do we got? Have you ever wholesaled open door?
It
So
was for
you can't wholesale open door because you have to double close. And last year we sold probably about 12 to 15 to open door. Now, again, you have to close on it and then you sell it to them about 2 weeks later. Now, the problem you got today in today's world is open door is a 60-day seasoning period. So you have to own the property for 60 days before you can sell it to open door.
Yep.
So in that sense, technically, you can still wholesale at open door, but it's really wholesale at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Open door.
Well, another thing too, I know we have a couple friends. If you guys remember Alex and
Agent.
Nova came on the podcast. Well, that's another strategy. But apparently, you can do like a novation. Well, you can get the seller and the buyer or seller an open door to sign the same contract if you can finagle that and then write in a clause saying that you give the seller X and everything over you take, something similar to those
So did that
contracts
work?
I've
Is that
heard
what
of.
they did with that one?
It worked. It worked 1 out of 3 times. 2 times it didn't work because the sellers when it signed. I don't know if they've gotten better at it
Gotcha.
and worked on pitching it, but I do know that they went through and they closed with that strategy.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, it comes to the closing attorney whether they will do that or not. Because to open
Mhm.
door, yes, the seller's still going. So, yeah, it's a strategy you could use.
Yeah,
But
so it's a little complicated, and we're getting. I mean, we've never done it, so I mean, I can't tell you firsthand, but it did work for some friends. Another thing, Gino, I don't know if you remember that realtor thing or not.
yeah, the realtor thing was just something else that boy Damien said that he would in California at least there's net listings are legal, but this wasn't even net listings. So what he would do is he's a realtor and he would tell the sellers he would just raise his listing fee. So if a seller wanted $800,000 is again this California market and Open Door offered 900, he would put his listing agreement with the seller to equal whatever percentage of the purchase price that would pay him that 100K, what's it called, 100K,
Move-in
what's
fee.
that called? Listing fee,
Yeah,
because Open Door
yeah.
is paying the listing fee. Open Door does pay listing fees or pays for the
The
realtor.
sellers, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's another thing he did. I know it's kind of complicated, but
I
he just
think I think
did it.
I heard like I don't know how green, gray, or black or white this is, but I think the highest commission you can do for agents is like what is that like 10% total? Is
Well,
that
it's
like
it's
no?
the thing is like the whole point of agents is they got to act in the fiduciary best for the
Mhm.
seller, and to like charge them 9% is sketchy. But for him, he's
Yeah,
lucky. He can do 7 or 8%. I think it was 7, but 7% of 800K is $56,000. So
yeah. Which yeah, it's a pretty good fee
which
still just
got
to
his
make
fee.
something out of nothing.
Yeah, which
You
got
know.
his fee, and then Open Door also pays you another 1%, or they pay you another 1,000. So like
Hmm.
he was making a lot of money with that.
Yeah, I think
But
Open Door gives you a 1% kickback if you bring them a deal. That's what I
yeah,
heard.
so in LA,
So
he was going off on that.
so if you're an agent, it might be a decent idea. All right, Ben, what trouble will I have assigning a realtor state
That's great.
contract?
I mean, is it have the question you're going to have the problem with? Are you going to be able to have the assignment clause in there? That's it. It needs to have an assignment clause, which none of them do.
Well, actually, no. Apparently, John and Danny said Arizona does and Florida does naturally.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, but I don't know about Georgia or any other state. You might want to.
You just got to just make sure, Ben. The real thing is just make sure that it says it on the contract that you can assign. There's no trouble if it says it on the agreement. You can assign.
Yeah.
You know.
That's literally all you need is assignment language. So if so, I mean, just you shouldn't have really any trouble.
No. Yeah,
it depends
exactly.
on.
So.
My book, You Can't Teach a Kid How to Ride a Bike, just came in. Do you know this is a big book that you and the sales guys like, right?
Yeah. KT knows about it. Yeah, and so I think he's been reading it a little bit. He tagged me something on Instagram or he was texting me about it. But yeah, big sales book, Sandler Training. Sandler is the guy that's trained Pace Morby, trained Steve Trang. Actually, is where Steve Trang met Pace, was through the Sandler Training in Phoenix. But Sandler's just like, I mean, it's a last name to a guy. I think it's John Sandler, but he has been, teaching this negative, sales strategy.
Sandler.
Huh?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, it's not the right one. But he's been teaching this strategy the sales strategy for like 30, 40 years. So it's not like it was just created. But he wrote that book, You Can't Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike at a Seminar. And I would recommend it highly for you guys. This is a number one sales book. I would say it's by far number one sales book.
So definitely get there. Oh, yeah, it's You Can't Teach a Kid How to Ride a Bike at a Seminar. Isn't that the whole title?
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, just everyone else who's joining right now, we're doing basically an open Q&A where you send us a problem or whatever, have a question, we'll answer it and break it down in the best thing we can do. So definitely send all your questions down below. And also someone confirmed right here that Florida does have an assignable contract. I don't know who that
one
was,
thing
but
I want to add right here.
Yeah. And it's like the Florida real estate agreement. Free teen.
Yeah, that's my good handwriting.
Oh, dude, I love that. What do we got coming up? We got are you going to pop it up again or?
Yeah, how to fix it.
Right there. There it is. So, yeah, Eric Brewer, I mean, dude, this guy is a beast. He does like what, 300 deals a year?
At least 300 deals a year, yeah.
They're doing wholesale fix and flip turnkey, which is basically where they fix and flip it and then put a tenant in there and give it to someone in property management. Or they sell it to someone in property management. And then, I mean, they do retail side of stuff too, listings. I mean, they do it all. If you haven't listened to his podcast with Steve Trang, you should definitely go and listen to it. It's pretty fire. It was like about a year and a half ago, I think.
Yeah, a year and a half ago.
Yeah. So he's going to be coming down to town Thursday. And you guys are going to get a chance to meet him and listen to what he's got. He's a smooth sales guy, just a great overall businessman. A lot you can learn from him, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, big stuff here, guys. Free meetup. You guys can come. We got people that come from Nashville. We got people that come from Charlotte. We have people from Chattanooga. When we have people that drive all over, don't think you're, you can't make it if you're not around the surrounding areas. We also have people that come from Birmingham. So, come through. It's open for everyone. We'll have a pretty cool place, and it's going to be meeting a lot of other real estate investors, not just Eric, but a lot of different guys.
And I think one of the coolest things about this meetup versus others is a lot, I would say the majority of people there are doing multiple deals a month. Like they're doing consistent deals. A lot of the people at the meetup.
Yeah, there is a lot of guys in here that go to the event that is doing a bunch of deals. So
yeah, so
for sure,
overall should be a great place to meet some people. So KT, got another question here. Do you know in your first year wholesaling, what were some of the things you did consistently to keep deals coming in and closing?
I guess it closed like 22 deals the first year, and it was all. I mean, the only thing that keeps them coming consistently is marketing and sales. So I didn't spend time, trying to figure out tax strategies. I didn't spend time trying to figure out my entity structure. I paid someone to do that, but I was spending my time, marketing focused, and I was doing the sales stuff. So talking to as many sellers as much as possible consistently and marketing consistently. And that's really it. I know that's probably not the answer you want, but it's at the end of the day, it just comes down to marketing and sales and just being consistent at those. That's when consistent deals would come. Right.
Yeah. I'm sure that includes a lot of telling people what you're going to pay them for their house, give a lot of offers. If you don't give an offer, you're never going to buy a house. That's for sure. So should keep it going. It's like anything. Once that momentum starts going though, it'll take off.
Yes, sir.
Easier. So,
What else we got?
Biggest regret on your journey? I would say one is the journey ain't over. That's my first thought when I see that. The journey's just beginning. But Gino, I'll let you go first.
Biggest regrets in your journey. Biggest regrets in your journey.
I mean, I don't think like there's really any like I mean, at least for me, and this is like a canned answer like everyone gives, but I don't really have any regrets. Like everything happens for a reason. You just got to keep going. Like if it feels right, it feels right. If it feels wrong, then don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a regret at all. There are things I would change. Not really. I mean, things you just learn. I mean, obviously, I would change a lot of things if I was starting over again. I would never cold call.
Strategically.
Then I would do like different things, just knowing that now. But is there anything that regrets? No, there's no regrets. I would say, no regrets.
I would say like strategic business things like that's different, right? Like we didn't know a lot of things. Like we didn't know how to hire. We didn't know how to like train people. We didn't know how to structure compensation. We didn't like all these things you learn as you hire people and fail and like mess up and have tough conversations. Like all these things would be different. And I would say the biggest one would be I would say the biggest one that's like true to me right now would just be like when you set expectations with people, don't make it seem better than it is. Like set the expectations crystal clear and hard. And if people, and then this is on the realm of hiring people on your team, and set the expectations hard and clear. Like, hey, this is going to be a tough thing. This is not going to be easy. Not that, hey, look, it's going to be hard. Or it's going to be challenging. It's going to be that, but it won't be that bad. Like, don't ever leave it that way, because then you'll get people who aren't committed and who aren't going to be as hardworking. But if you just say like it's going to be really tough, it's going to be hard for you to learn, yada yada yada. It's going to take this and this and that, and then people will say, yeah, I'm that guy. Then you have that confidence definitely has equated to better hires. I would say that's a big thing that I would say strategically would be one thing I would do differently. If that gives you an answer. So just be clear with what you want. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you want. And you could use that even in like sales negotiation. So if you just like let people slide, even though it's not what you want, like let's say you do something for cheaper than it should be done, just for something simple, then you're not going to want to do it as much. But if you do it for your price and or a price you want to do it for, then you're not going to resent it.
For sure. Gunner over here.
Hey, biggest struggle we've had. I mean, I would probably say like at this point is having to like the biggest struggle right now is hiring more great people. I would say that's probably the hardest thing, because before, we would just hire from our social network on social media and stuff, which is maybe good, maybe bad. But I think it comes at a good time to where it's good to branch out.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be able to continue to get a lot of good leads coming in for people, like good candidates to come in for people to bring onto your team. I think that's probably like the biggest struggle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest struggle. Yeah, I would say it has. I mean, the only thing holding us back now is people. We can spend the money in marketing. The only thing that's holding us back is people. And I mean, it's just a struggle. That's anyone in the world. Their biggest struggle is people. Anything involved with people, there's problems. So just making sure that we're getting as many high quality people as possible, and the team, not just people, just high quality, core value focused people.
Yeah, and also like too is like people with like higher level leadership experience and or potential. Just like, I mean, it's just like if you need to hire 10 people, like that's a lot of people. Like where do you find that many good people? So, and I keep saying good people over and over again, but that's there. Like we've talked to a bunch of people, and not all are good. So you know what I mean? Like it goes both ways. But and also some people are like, here's another thing too, is like you'll find good people, and this has happened to us multiple times too, but they don't fit they're not the right fit for the role you need. So like that's a whole nother like thing, is like you'll be like, man, I really like this person, I think they'd be great, but they're not gonna be good at what we need. And that's like really sucks, because you got to say no.
Yeah, and then you offer them another position, in your company as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing, guys. Like we got to get better at too in ours is that we need to start offering these positions to people in our company. See if they want to apply. Like we should have a page channel. I'm thinking on this on Discord, like open positions.
Yeah, I think you're right. That'd be
Everyone
good.
can look in there and we get tag, hey, new open position came up, and they can
And people
apply
can
if they want.
apply. Yep. I think that would be a good idea. Just to more cross, people who are already in there know what's
Well,
going
and they
on.
know so Gunner's in here. So if Gunner sees, oh, there's an open position in Dispo, yeah, maybe he doesn't want it, but he might have a friend that could maybe be possible fit in there. But he knows that we're available for that, that role's available. So,
100%.
that's another.
Yeah. Also, and like I think that's a good idea. We definitely are gonna do that. Gunner, you're gonna see that tomorrow. So hopefully you
Put that
do
down.
that.
Who are you gonna give that to?
I'm gonna give that to DJ.
Okay, tell us that.
All right, KT. Yeah, their meetups are fire. I've met other guys on the same journey as me, even some buyers there. Oh, I like that.
Let's go, KT.
That's right. John, what are you doing to keep employee retention high? I mean, I'd say that's the first thing is just the culture, which culture is just core values in action. And also like just a good environment, like I'd say that's the biggest one. But tactically, I think one of the things that we did really well is have that weekly Friday meeting that we have 1 hour every week where we have our entire team together and we do something fun. So like, do you know what wasn't it? What we did 2 weeks ago? Like, what was a good example?
Oh, we did the game. We did that game. What's it called?
Was it it was the Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, or like Scriblio or something like, which is like Pictionary, stuff like that. Or like, what's your quarterly goal? Like, what do you want to do this year? Like, what's something you're gonna do in the next 90 days personally, and talk about that, or some cool stuff.
Exactly.
I think one of the coolest ones was it was a scenario of like, let's say you're in apocalypse, like you can take 2 other people on the team with you. Who are you taking with you and why? And then like I think it was like what's one person you're not taking with you or something. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's for our whole team.
Yeah, so everyone had to go through. But yeah, that's probably the main one. Just filling that emotional cup up.
Yeah. So Cards Against Humanity, like Gunnar said. So what's up, guys?
Also,
so yeah, again, like Chandler, we talked about earlier. If you guys just joined, we're gonna give free session. I mean, obviously free, we're podcast, but we're doing a session with like ask any of your questions. It's suited for Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, you would probably.
Dude,
you have to sign like some.
You got to get a virtual team, bro.
You have to get some sort of freaking
waiver signed or something. Like, hey, look, there might be profanity and weird jokes.
Feelings will be hurt.
Feelings will be hurt. That's right.
But yeah, you guys go ahead, ask us whatever you want. We're gonna try to do this. We'll probably be here for at least 30 minutes. So hit us up with whatever you guys got. Any questions? Again, like Chandler has. Under here, we got our in-person meetup in Atlanta. You're surrounding. You're in Tennessee. You're in North Carolina. You're in Alabama. Come by. It's in Atlanta. You guys can look in our Instagram bios. Mine's in my second link in my bio. And oh yeah. That was the.
Oh yeah, Paco. Paco was wasn't he baptizing kids, or was
Harry?
Oh yeah, that's right, Harry. Harry's 3rd year anniversary of being baptized, and then Paco also like we would do like these fundraiser things where Paco would go and feed a bunch of kids in Nicaragua, and so like we'd raise some money, and go and feed like I don't know how many kids he feed, like a few hundred kids.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. Like just they get to post that kind of stuff in the team chat.
Did you post about Harry getting baptized?
I don't think I did. I think you did actually.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure you did.
I don't know. Hey, KT, because I remember there was something we posted, but then I just did that last week. Did I post something about it last week? It was literally the 3 years of him getting baptized last week.
I think it was literally. I think it was you. I think I remember seeing it because I didn't post it. I know for a fact. Maybe Vivian did it. Yeah.
I've never seen that, but I know I said something. But that was like last week.
Vivian's the GOAT, man. She's the best. Ben, investment into business with biggest return, time, money, peace of mind. Well, specifically, Steve Trang's coaching. That would probably be the number one. And then overall is education. It was one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, it's 100% self-education. That's your number one.
I mean, it's just like you never lose those skills.
I got one of the AMs coming after me right now to answering me a question on the live offer. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll take these. John, what was your biggest? Yeah, but before we go to yours, John, like biggest, the education. Just think about it. Let's just put it in perspective. Is what's one thing that will never stop giving you return on your investment? It's literally yourself. You're always going to be there no matter what. So if you give yourself the tools, like think about it. If you need to dig a hole and you just got your hands, like you're not going to be able to get very far. You're not a dog. So if you got a shovel, you could dig a pretty good hole. And once you get to a certain point, you're going to now need what's it called? Like some kind of like, let's call it a backhoe, right? Or like some kind of skid steer. You got to upgrade your tools as you go. So it's the same thing in business. Is if you want to level up your business, you need to get the tools for yourself to be able to do more. And if you have the tools to do a $10 million business, then you're probably only gonna do like a few $1 million business. If you have the tools to do a $100 million business, you're probably only gonna do like a $30 million business because people are catching up to where you're at the whole time. Maybe you can do more, maybe not if you hire a great. But yeah, tools are with you forever. You never lose those. Skills are with you forever. So that's where the first place I would invest all my money is. Once you get some free cash flow, don't buy a rental, buy skills. John, again, what was your biggest hurdle you had to overcome from going to 500 to a million? I would say 500 to a million was probably more of everything you're doing. So everything you're doing now, but just do more. You don't really have to be that much more efficient or operational. At least is what we did. Is we just did more marketing. We had more people, and we did more deals. Man, it's really is that simple. It's like there's no like we didn't have like any sophistication of like holy shit, like we got to be so crazy smart with what we're doing. Like of course we knew, like we watched our finances every week. We looked at our marketing, we looked at our key numbers, leads, appointments, contracts, sold deals, revenue, expenses. We made sure we're making money, but literally just do more. That's gonna get you to a million if you're at 500K. And then Gino posted, so 100% that was Vivian. Ryan's out here thinking next level over here with the pickaxe. Dude, get out of the Minecraft caves, dude. All right, where do you picture yourself, Frosty, in 5 years? All right, so Frosty's a wholesale company. So Gunnar, where do we picture, let's just say Frosty in 5 years. I mean, I would say in 5 years, it's at that point, it'll be 5 years is a hard number. I can tell you 3 years. 3 years, we're going to be doing over $1 million a month. For me, I'll be the CEO. Gino will be in the owner's box completely and just be on like the board basically. So I'll be only the CEO. And then essentially we will have a solid team of executives, which would be like, marketing, lead management, acquisitions, dispo, finance, TC. That would probably be where we're at. We might have some other departments, we might not. That'll be kind of hard to tell. But anyways, that will be the main thing, is doing over $1 million a month in 3 years, and moving up the ladder a little bit more for both of us. What types of, and that would be for me, myself, in 5 years, I mean, for myself, I would say I'm probably going to, I mean, dude, I would say like in 5 years I'd have a girlfriend, but I mean, that's probably unlikely at the rate we're going right now. So it might be 10 years for that. I'm just kidding. But no, I would say in 5 years, probably living somewhere out in the West. I'll probably be more in one place than I am now. So less of a nomad. And then just doing the same thing I am now, just surrounding myself with great people like yourself, Gunnar, and growing towards some one common goal. What type of marketing were you doing at 500K a year? 500K a year, we did about, I believe we were spending like 15 grand a month is what we were spending. It might have been like 10 to 15. And then when we did 1.8, we were spending about 45 grand. I got removed from the, I'm so big. We were spending about 45 grand per month, 45. So that gives you the numbers there. And then I think our team size when we did that was we had like 3 to 4 VAs who were appointment setters, and we still had one acquisitions rep for most of the time. And I think at the very end of that year, which would have been like end of September, beginning of November, we hired 2 more acquisition managers, and we had 3 acquisitions and 4 lead managers, but they didn't really contribute much to revenue that year because we hired them just for basically their deals staying close to the next year. So that would be where we were at. Would you guys expand to other states? At some point. Right now, it wouldn't make sense for us to do it. It's a possibility at some point. We like Florida. Florida would be a good next place. And I think I hit you with the team size. We had a sales team about like 7, and team size maybe like 15 to 20 total. Everyone. How was my trip? Hawaii was sick. Peep the ugly pictures on my story. How do you handle the low retention rate for your cold callers you hire? Honestly, we don't have a low retention rate for anyone we hire so far. I mean, like we're relatively still new. I mean, we've only had a lot of our core team for about a year and a
We're
half.
talking about cold callers.
But yeah, cold callers, I mean, man, like we've had them forever. I mean, we pay them well. We have a good culture.
Yeah, that's a big thing. We do pay very well. So
yeah,
I mean, we pay them like $7
they make
an hour.
$6 to $7 an hour. Yeah.
So like that's not a little amount, and they are Latin based. So they are showing a lot more Latin countries, Central American and South American. They're showing a lot more loyalty too, especially once you show them respect as well.
100%. Yeah, South America, like the Hispanic culture is definitely a much more loyal culture as a whole. So if you like care for them, and go the extra mile and do the extra things, they will definitely stay around. That's a very good point, Yeah. But yeah, I guess like from a more tactical answer is we do daily huddles with them every morning, and then they have like a weekly like win meeting, like a weekly like meeting where they go over like their weekly goals. That's like 30 minutes. So they have like a 30-minute meeting every day. So where they role play, talk about their accountability with their numbers and that kind of stuff. So I mean that's another thing. Best way to build long-term relationships with sellers and other investors.
Sellers.
I mean, as far as other investors, I mean, just like, doing multiple
like anything in life, man, whether your sellers or other investors, like it's just anything with life. Following core values. I mean, I think it's kind of, you're following your core values or whatever. Think about your friends. Like what's made you be around your friends for so long?
Mm-hmm.
How did you build long-term relationships with your friends? How have you done it? Family, your family, but friends and stuff, like look around, like how was it? It's because you guys trusted each other, because you guys, whatever your core values are, most likely, obviously there's a reason you're friends with that person because they follow your core values.
Yeah, maybe y'all go to lunch every once in a while. Maybe you get gifts to each other once in a while. I don't know. Or maybe you just text someone and be, hey, how you doing today? And just like random calls. I don't know. It could be anything. But I would say the biggest thing is like trust, like Gino said.
Oh man.
Gino, what's your outlook for yourself and Ferocity in the next 3 to 5 years?
The outlook for myself and Ferocity for 3 to 5 years. With 5 years about the max we go, but I think our outlook for Ferocity, what we did in our last quarterly was $2 million a month in revenue. That's what I think our last
one. For 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5-year target is $2 million a month in revenue, and 30% profitability. That's with me out of the business in the owner's box, and I believe that's Chandler as well out of the business in the owner's box. So for me and Ferocity, other than just being maybe like a director on the board. And like the board to the visionary, I wouldn't be in any other sense a part of it. So I would be just sitting as like a board member, just giving any once a month, once a week max, advice on what I would do. But yeah, that's the outlook.
What about for yourself personally?
Now, it's 5 years. It could change in a month from now what it's really going to happen. So
5 years could be 2. 5 years could be 10.
For 5 years, I just don't want to do any of that. So
exactly. What about personally? Where are you moving personally in the next 1 to 3?
I don't know actually where I move. I thought I was going to move to Florida, but I don't think so now.
Well, I didn't mean move, but like I meant like what do you know what I meant, right?
What? Going to the bathroom next? What are you talking about?
Maybe. Are you going like you're gonna
Where
just
am I going to the bathroom next?
go buy a van and live like our boy?
I'm trying to figure out right now, guys. This is a good little. We got no other questions right now. I'm trying to figure out. You guys tell me. We're in real estate game, but I'm like against buying a personal home right now. The last couple weeks, like I've been thinking about it more. Yeah, I have 24 rentals, but I'm gonna go get a loan for a property around 600,000. I'm have 4.78% interest rate. That's like a good one for me to get approved for right now. So you're talking about a pretty big, hefty monthly payment. The next 2 years of my life, and again, guys, put some questions in here. So it's not about my life over here we're talking about, but this is a little self, maybe you guys will find it interesting. This little self thinking I've been doing. So I'll get a loan. I'm going to have a big payment a month. Like let's just say $3,000 to $5,000 with interest and taxes and insurance at least, right? Between that, I know that's a big range, but I'm just ballparking right now. It's going to be like, it's going to be at least
It's going
to be at least $4,000 a month to pay.
Yep.
Now I am obviously getting the advantages of real estate, but it's a personal house, so I'm not depreciating it. I'm not going to be able to 1031 it unless I buy it in my entity. And then, I am getting, like I said, the mortgage amortization. Anyway, I'm paying it down a little bit, but still it's $4,000 a month. And I could, and here's the big problem, guys, is where I'm thinking next 2 to 3 years, I'm gonna be traveling a lot. Like I'm trying to go all out, right? So if I'm traveling a lot, I won't even be home that much. But then you're like, okay, why don't you Airbnb it out? But reality is, if I have all my personal stuff there, I'm not going to want to be moving things around. Again, this is what Chandler was asking me, like, what am I doing in my future? And I was going to buy a place down in South Florida, but now I'm like, maybe I should just rent something and just figure out this is actually something I want to tell you, because I was having this talk with Stelly and he was like, damn, I never thought about it that way. So maybe
he's our acquisition manager.
Yeah, or acquisition manager. I was telling him this next thing I'm about to say because I never thought about it that way. But I'm sure, we got obviously some people on here right now, and I don't know everyone's level of traveling, experiences. But when I went to Europe for 90 days, last fall, I got the nicest like Airbnb in the nicest area of Barcelona, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It wasn't the nicest of nicest, but it was a nice Airbnb. 3-bed, 2-bath, like pretty big place unlike the road that where Gucci is, Louis Vuitton, like the nicest part. And I paid like $3,200 a month. That's a 3-bedroom. Like reality is, and I think this was in the book, The 5-Hour Work Week, but that was also like 15 years old, a 4-hour work week. Yeah. But it talked about how like, it's just as cheap to live somewhere, especially now with Airbnb, anywhere in the country or the world. Like, again, my place was in the heart of Barcelona, on the street that were, the big designer brands are. And it was 3 bedrooms, 2-bath. And it was only $3,200. I know that's a lot, but $3,200 a month. Like, that's not bad, especially if you had 3 bedrooms and you had someone with you. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but like you can go for one person place in some of these nice countries and cities and live there 2 months at a time and be paying $2,000 a month. Why would I want to stay in the US, or why would I want to pay my mortgages and have this expenses when I can do that the rest of my life? I'm 23. I got the rest of my life to own a house and take care of the maintenance on it, the insurance on it, the property taxes on it, all that good stuff. I have that the rest of my life. So anyway,
I actually like that though, because that's what I've been thinking about too. Is like I looked at my calendar for June, July. Well, really, it's been like this whole entire year. I've slept in my bed
do that.
I slept in my bed in June. I'll sleep in my bed like 5 times. In July, I'll sleep in my bed 7, 8 times right now, maybe max. And then August, I already have like 4 trips planned. September I already have plans. Like I'm literally never gonna be home. Like, why would we buy? Like, I'm trying to think like why I would buy a house too. It's like I can't wrap my head around it.
It's not really much advantage right now for us to buy a house. So
yeah. But
other than just getting a good deal. But the thing is, guys, like some people, like let's say the normal, not even investors, just normal people that work in a W-2, or just normal people that weren't in the industry of real estate, but like they're saying, oh, I got to buy now because there won't be deals later. And like, I'm not worried about finding a deal, and I'll just get my launch control out and start texting sellers. And that's it. Like, I'm not worried about finding a personal house as a deal. So
yeah. Also, like when everyone starts FOMOing, that's like could be a sign,
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? On the last 3 years, so.
Yeah, I know, right? You never know.
Hold on, Gunnar said, "Why no Frosty Instagram?" Well, because I don't think the value's there for Frosty Instagram for sellers. Now, for real estate like this stuff, I think it's there, but just to attract more people for job hiring, like showing our company culture, that might be a good thing. But like in terms of sellers, we don't have it because we don't have Instagram for sellers and trying to advertise to them, because we have every other advertising tool that we
You can
use.
also use this platform to hire people off of as well. But
Yeah,
I think like Gino says, the credibility, if you had your company page built out, it would probably add a little bit to it.
for hiring only.
Yeah,
That's what I would use
but
it.
a lot of the people I've talked to recently are like, "Oh, I went and watched your podcast. Oh, it's so cool. You guys are legit." And like the credibility is still there. So
Yeah.
once the name leaves, though, then that's when it's like, okay, then we got to figure something else out. But
Let's hit KT's here.
KT,
What do you
so
guys
what do
think
you guys
about the
think
rumors?
about the rumors, though?
I don't know if those are rumors. I mean, people have been
I
saying that for 5 years that it's going to crash
yeah,
dip.
I mean, I talked to a bunch about it. Like one of the guys I was hanging out with in Hawaii, he's worth like about 10 million, and he was saying that the Fed, and this is what I've heard too, but the Fed basically said that there's going to be a recession. Is real estate going to have a recession? Who knows? Because it's hard to tell. It's not always tied to the market. But they already said that one, they're raising rates. Two, they're okay with the market going down to pre-COVID levels, and that's really all you need to know. So there's going to be a correction in the market as in general. But will real estate correct? I mean, in COVID it didn't, so it maybe doesn't. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you think about in COVID, everything went valley, but houses went up. So I'm looking at supply in Atlanta, FMLS in Georgia. The supply is equivalent to what it was in December of this year, or excuse me, of 2021, and sales are are actually more by like so the supply again is about the same as it was December, but in terms of the amount of sales, we're like 3,000 more sales, or I mean, I think this is thousands, but 3,000 more sales versus the year. So like we're having more demand and less supply. Just looking on this right here, more demand, less supply, because the supply is the same as December, but in December we only sold 7,000 homes, and obviously we know why it's always it's always low in December because of Christmas, but in December we sold 7,000 homes in our MLS, like 6,700, and last month we sold 9,000, but the supply was the same
Mm-hmm.
amount of homes on
So
the market. So
I
days
mean,
on market shrunk. It's 6 days on market in April of 2022.
yeah. So I mean, it's tough to say. I mean,
Now you got to be educated. So everyone's watching this, right? We got to be educated still, because I guess the homes that are, and we know we do a lot of stuff on MLS. The homes that are in the middle of nowhere, that are
are not moving.
$700,000, they're not selling as much. Homes
Mhm.
that are over the median price income or median price are not selling as much. Which for you guys in Atlanta, that is the median price right now.
380 right now, I think.
380 exactly. So if it's over 380, it's going to have a harder time selling. One, with interest rates, right? Because for people that used to be able to pay for a $380,000 mortgage or get that, I mean, qualify for that. Now, because the rates go up, they can only qualify.
It's like 340.
340. So
So, and that's one thing we've been seeing too, is like as we list deals on the MLS, we're getting less retail investor or retail buyer offers. The hedge funds are still paying market value, but if it's not a hedge fund deal, they are paying less. So, or we're just not getting as many offers. Maybe, and they're usually a little bit lower. So, all right, let's keep going. So, got it. Thank you. Where did you hire your cold call VAs from? So the first guy we got was Upwork, and it was the filter they are fluent in Spanish, and the applications in English, obviously, right? So they got to be able to do both. And then from there, it's just all referrals.
Yeah,
literally just all referrals. It's like, hey, do you have any friends? Oh, I got friends, and then give them a couple $100 and then keep on going, and then just do that over and over again. Lewis. So my team is 2 cold callers, 1 admin, 1 new acquisitions, marketing between 3 to 5K monthly. That's CRM, salaries, etc. So that's like the whole deal. So what would you say our monthly income should be based on that? I mean, that seems like it's your entire overhead. So I mean, I would guess you're doing. I mean, if you're spending 5K total overhead, I mean, if you have an acquisitions rep, I don't know what he's doing. You have 2 cold callers. I mean, you should definitely be doing a couple contracts a month for sure.
marketing should be 25%.
Yeah.
What is it? Marketing 25%. You got your people and systems and overhead. That's 25%, and then you got your salary or your commissions, which should be like 15%.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, if it's just you and you only got 1 acquisition guys and 2 cold callers, I mean, you should be able to crank out 70% margins, I would say. So 5K divided by 0.7 should give you Wait, no, 0.3. Sorry, 0.3 because your expenses are 30%.
15K, I think, right?
So yeah, so I mean, it'd be like you should be getting a deal a month, pretty much closing. That's what I would say,
Yeah,
conservatively.
you want to be around like 33% minimum, 40%. So
yeah. So I mean,
20K.
yeah, definitely with 2 cold callers, you should be. I mean, a cold caller should be able to get you about a deal a month. One cold caller, if they're doing all right. But I mean, even just let's just say it's 1 deal. I mean, you're still doing good.
Yeah, because you'd be 66% profitable if you made 15, and
If you did the 1 deal a
only
month,
spent 5K,
yeah, that'd be pretty good.
you'd be 66%. So I would go if that's you should be pushing yourself. So that's what a good thing to look at too, Louis, is if you're at like, let's say you do about a deal a month, it's 15K. So you spend $5,000. Now I don't know your new acquisition manager what he's taking off that 5K. That's including that.
Or
But
off
you do
that 15K or whatever.
Yeah, if you divide it by that means you're profitable 67%. And so that means you're not marketing enough and you're not doing enough, like spending enough money on marketing more than likely, because you should be spending as much money on marketing to get you to where you're at 40%. So if you're spending 5K, you need to raise that to 25K and see when you drop down back to 40%. Like what I'm saying again is, if I hear someone saying they're 67% profitable, they're not spending enough money on marketing to get them,
And it really just, it depends on what you want to. If you just want to keep it super small and like do a lot of the work or whatever, and that's cool too, right? It's a different model. If you want to scale out and not do anything, then what Gino's saying is perfectly accurate, because you can literally just spend more money to make more up to a certain point, and like that's where you can then you don't have to worry about efficiency. You know what I mean? Like if you're at 40% margin, you're spending. Let's run a scenario. Like let's say it's 50% for easy math. So let's say in this scenario right here, you're making 10 grand a month net. But let's say in a scenario where you spend 20K a month. And again, I don't know if you can spend 20K a month. And I wouldn't say, make sure you have like 4 to 6 months of reserves in there before you just crank it up of your marketing spend. But let's say you're spending 20K a month and you make 50%. So you make 20K instead of making 10. Would you do that?
That's your question.
That's the question. I mean, it wouldn't actually frame out that way if the numbers worked right. You should get 3 to 4 times more deals instead of 5 more grand. But like that's the question you kind of got to ask yourself too. So, but all right, let's keep going. Because we noticed our Filipino callers aren't consistent. Yeah, so we answered that. South America. Have you done cost segregation? Gino, you have, right?
Yeah, I did one of my other properties, or one of them, and I'm doing on another one. But yeah, I have. Let me know if you have questions on it, KT. They cancel. How are you guys paying your people?
Yeah, I know. Use Wise. I'm banned from them too, but they work good.
Wise, WSE. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, I put it in there. And then it's or World Remit. World Remit is another one that you can use, Isaiah. That's more or less where I'm at. Yes, I mean if you spent more money, like in theory, if you added 2 more cold callers, you'd probably get another deal. Obviously you got to make sure you can float that for a while, but for a few months. But that's in theory. If everything worked out, you would just be able to get another deal. And I would probably start texting because it's super cheap and easy, and you're definitely going to get a deal from that. Like if you get 100 leads from texting, you should get a deal, and you can get 100 leads pretty quick. But lead flow is super slow right now. All I'm doing is cold calling SMS. I'm actually, let's see, but I'm not sure if I need more data or need to maximize my current marketing. I mean, my question would be, Lewis, is how many texts are you sending? How many leads are you getting? And then we'll really just say like how many leads are you getting over a set period? Because for cold call and text, it's going to be about, just let's say it's going to be about 100 leads per deal on average for both combined. It's going to be a little bit less for cold call, probably like 60, and SMS probably like 110 max. But if you're not getting that many leads, then you probably can assume that that's why it's taking you longer to get deals. And if you are getting that many leads, then you probably need to get better on acquisitions. Exactly. Which would be then invest in, like, if you don't have a sales process, I would say John Martinez first. He's going to give you a sales process.
Or use Level Up sales process, because that's actually
true
sales process.
That's actually going to be the best sales process, the level up sales process, which is Gino's patented shit. It's like a mixture of. It's honestly, what's up?
It's just that like it's intertwined with like 5 different people. His actual sales process. John Martinez and you go to Steve's. I mean, they teach a process, but ours goes from cold calling to text to lead management to offer calls to contract calls to survey calls. Like we have a real process down. So
it's really like a mixture of Steve's stuff, John Martinez's process, a little bit of stuff from Tiffany High, Eric Brewer's stuff, guys like who are doing, guys who we mentor with who are doing, like 20 million a year. It's a mixture of all their stuff. So we just took the best parts of all of it for what we liked and what worked, and then put it together. Super solid stuff.
Yes, sir. What else we got, guys? I know we're only going to go for 30 minutes, but
we got some good questions.
What else we got, guys? Anything that you guys got for us on this beautiful Tuesday morning or afternoon or night, I guess you could say? Yeah. I'm trying to look here and see.
And Luis, if you're actually interested in doing that,
Luis,
I'm sorry. If you want to do that, hit me up on Instagram, and I will connect you with Ryan, and he can talk to you about joining the program.
To see if you qualify for it. Do you guys talk about flips? I guess you're talking about the mastermind. Did we talk about flips?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we don't do like rehabs.
No, we don't. No, that's it.
Just like hotels.
We're talking about hotels where to find private money.
Yeah. And we've done like stuff we've done like small cosmetic stuff, but I mean, it's not our specialty by any stretch. So
no, we don't want to be. I don't want that to be my specialty.
It's a pain, dude. It's a pain. It's a nightmare. What's your business numbers through texting like? So I'll give you the quick and dirty. About 200 texts per leads, about 100 texts or 100 leads per contract, and then that's pretty much it. And we convert 75% of our contracts into sold deals. So, and like if you want to go a step further, like we give offers to about like every 15 to 20 leads that come in. It might be up to 25, somewhere in that range. Like let's call it 18 to 23. We give offers to every one of those SMS leads. And then it usually takes us about 5 offers to get a contract.
Yes, sir.
So I just told you what they look like and what they should be.
He just reposted it.
Yeah. Thanks. I'll do that. And then Caleb.
Whoa.
You're double. Yeah. Oh my God, we're duking them out right here.
I recently paid for a marketing agency for SMS for the month of June. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully it does, Caleb. Who did you go with? I never even heard of marketing agency for SMS. Who'd you go with? We use Launch Control, but it's not an agency. That's a program.
It's just a platform. Software. Yeah. It's a great software. Probably the best one out there. I mean, that's what everyone in our program uses. So everyone in our mastermind uses. I think actually one person might use like Batch, but they're switching over from Batch to Launch Control.
It's different, man.
It's just good. It's gas. But all right, guys. Keep hitting us with any questions. We'll stay in here for a few more minutes. If no more questions come in, we're going to end it. Next week, we'll get another guest on here, get after it. But I feel like some good value just to be able to.
I think we had a good one today. So
give you guys the sauce, whatever sauce y'all need. Other than that, just another plug of the podcast. Sign up for the link in the bio. There's one on my story. There's a link. There's the second link. Yeah, for the event. The second link in Gino's bio is where you can sign up, or on my story right now, you can sign up. But it's Thursday, 7 p.m. Eric Brewer's going to be there. He's doing 300 plus deals a year. He doesn't even need an intro, but even though we should give him one, but we will. So Eric is a beast.
All right, Gunner, we'll end it on Gunner's question here. Biggest accomplishment, Chandler, in the business so far. What's your biggest accomplishment?
I would say the biggest accomplishment. I don't know. I don't really look at anything as bigger than or better than other things. I would say that probably my proudest accomplishment, because I'll use that because maybe it's my thing, is helping you get to where you are now, Gunner. Is our performance review in January. I think it
Gunner.
helped pop that cherry.
You got it for Gunner. I would say my biggest accomplishment of this so far is for having the team built. And I started this thing by myself. So actually, well, technically with a partner, but pretty much by myself. So now we're from one person to 30 people in 3 years, 3 years, 3.5. So
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I think that's probably, I mean, that's overall just the coolest thing is having all the people around.
all right, so we'll take this last one from Caleb. Last one here, Caleb. Oh, you hit me. Who would you recommend to hire right now? Just me, my wife. This is how the business we started back in December, closed 15 deals since. So if she's handling the dispo, good. Have her handle dispo. It sounds like she's doing good. I'm guessing you're doing sales, which is good. It sounds like it's working out. Whatever you guys aren't good at. So she's good at dispo, obviously. You might be good at sales, or you might say I'm actually better at marketing. I don't know, but whatever it is, whatever one marketing and sales you're not as good at, hire that person to do that for you.
Yep. The goal is to optimize yourself is the first step. If you optimize what you're doing every day, then you're going to make more money. And by optimize, I mean just do more of what makes more money or what you're best at. It's going to make more money. So it's probably closing deals, but it may not be. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, guys. With that, we are out.
We out.
Appreciate y'all.